I'm just gonna place this down. Um, could you tell me your name?
It's Baldomero Marquez.
Baldomero Marquez. Are you okay with me doing videotape or just audio for you?
I think the audio will be better.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the answer. Okay, starting with where did you study, and or where did you get your degree as a mechanical engineer?
Went to the state, so I went there for 6 years, and I also got a minor in business.
Oh,
But I had a few couple of extra classes that I had to take. You probably know already now.
excellent. And what are you working at the moment?
Doing manufacturing engineering up in Santa Cruz. We work for a logging mine, and yeah. You want me to go into detail, or you want that's for different?
Oh, if you would,
Yeah.
that'd be
So right now,
appreciated.
manufacturing engineer, we actually produce parts for the D5 missile, and I can't go really into detail,
That's it's
but
okay.
what my task is to make sure that everything has traceability from the part it's made in wherever the material's made, the metal, the plastic, to who when the person that's gonna make the part buys it, and then all the way to when it's made to the end. So I can tell you, if you tell me, hey, where's if there's a can, hey, where's this aluminum bought at? I can tell you, hey, this came from Asia or whatever, and so it's pretty neat.
Nice, nice. Do you mind asking you how do you landed this job?
I started with a startup company for 5 years, and was really good friends with the safety guy, and he decided that he was gonna pursue a different job. And when he went to the next job, which is Lockheed Martin, he found out that there was an opening for a manufacturing engineer, and he let me know. So I wasn't looking for a job. It was just kind of one of those lucky moments.
Oh, excellent. Um, do you mind asking you if how does your education equip you for this job at hand?
Uh, I think education will just develop you overall as a human being. Just time wise, you got to go to class every day. You got to make sure that your assignments are completed. Be organized, because you have 4 or 5 classes a semester and so on. So I think just going to college is a big benefit, regardless of what the major is. But doing a hands on, mechanical engineering was a little more hands on. You do a 3D modeling, and then you can kind of see how to develop it. Work with other groups.
As a follow up question, why do you ended up choosing mechanical engineering as your career?
Uh, it was kind of like a little slip into it. I wanted to be a mechanic when I was growing up, and mechanical engineering just sounded very close to it. I did not know what a mechanical engineer was at the moment that I was applying. I was a shock when I found out when I was going to school, and just went with it.
Hmm? Excellent. Where do you want to end up in your career?
I think I'm pretty much. I had a goal a couple years ago, was to work for the top 500 company. Obviously, probably would choose a automotive company before Lockheed, but staying local, in my hometown, you can't beat it. I mean, think I think I'm pretty comfortable. I think if I can see myself being there for the rest of my career, if available.
Excellent. As a mechanical engineer, what is your viewpoint in management?
Can you repeat that?
As a mechanical engineer, what is your viewpoint in management?
It's great. I mean, I think if you don't have a management personnel, it can go very, left, right, very quick. You need someone that can guide you to, making sure that every team is doing what they need. The what your job is not everything. You when you're doing the job, you got to depend on other groups to do their part at the same time. so you can end up with the final goal. So
How will you measure success in management?
um, I think keeping everybody true to their goals. I know we're all human, but at some point you gotta make sure that everybody is accountable for their actions. If someone can't complete their task, you gotta make sure, hey, I can't complete my task, because it's gonna affect, it's a domino effect. So if management doesn't lets it slide, it keeps it sliding. It becomes a habit.
Excellent. Um, how important is written and oral communications in your line of work?
I think it's one of the bigger portions of where I work at. I gotta communicate with the people that are building the stuff, so I have to be very clear on what I'm trying to say, and how to undertake the instructions if the personnel doesn't understand it, and vice versa. I gotta make sure I write it. When I'm writing the instructions, that the personnel can also read it. So we gotta take in mind that who your audience is. If your audience is a professor, with a master's or a PhD, I mean, it has to be quality work. But when it's people that are building stuff, their education can all is required is a high school degree. You got to keep it at a high school degree level also.
Excellent. And how do you communicate with others at your work? I think you already answered this somehow.
Yeah, I'll elaborate on that. I believe that you got to treat others the way you want to be treated. So, I if you got to make sure that there's a line of respect in between. But I also like to have a one-on-one communication with them of reality of life, because I think when you're with someone for 40 hours a day, you got to understand what's happening around their life, not in detail, but just in overall.
Right. Um, how would you describe a typical day as a mechanic engineer?
So a mechanical engineer or a manufacturing engineer?
Well, on your manufacturing engineer.
Okay, so because I did manufacturing or mechanical engineer in my previous job, and this is a manufacturing engineer. I think I said a little bit. It's well, when I was saying is, uh, we our goal is to make sure that everything that we build has traceability, and when it's from every component that's being built and put together assembled, but also is how to assemble it. So you gotta be very clear on how to assemble it, and gotta have enough detail to make sure that the drawing that we're going by, that we're building is to spec. So some of our drawings are to the thousands of a tolerance. So if you're adding so many components, at the end of the day, it has to meet that criteria, or it fell. So
Excellent.
so I think it's very, it could be very stressful, but at the same time very rewarding when at the end of the day.
Excellent. Is there any certain environmental concerns in your line of work?
Yeah, I mean, ethics is the biggest thing. If you know that there's something that's wrong, speak out. It's easier to fix the moment you found it than if you continue working. Every hour that you continue working on something that you know already is gonna fail, or is something that is not tolerated in my company. I don't know. In other companies, it might be a little more flexible, and or just speak out and say, hey, there's something wrong here, and let other people decide on the situation.
As a follow up question, if someone in your company did something unethical, how did the company deal with it?
They have their own procedures. It depends if they work with the union or if they don't. There's different approaches. I haven't physically been in any of those positions, but they did definitely take ethics very serious, and we take a yearly class on it.
Excellent choice. Uh, what advice would you give to achieve of your position as a engineer and structural engineer?
I think just stay grounded. You know, I know that a lot of people will a lot of people believe that, you know, acquiring a job or a degree of this of that altitude, think that they're better, but by you not believing that and saying, hey, I'm equals like everybody else, I just had a gift of being able to do this major that a lot of people, you know, believe it's hard, will take you a long ways. Just a lot of people that I know that, you know, get cocky is very dangerous because you can use that in the wrong way.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. This is all the time we have for today. Thank you for the interview, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know.
No problem. Will do.